Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Ask Princess. This is actually the first podcast that I've done of the new year, so Happy New Year everyone, even though January is almost out the door. But you know what? Happy New Year anyway. So many good things, great things, exciting things have been going on the last couple of weeks, starting off 2012 on a good positive note. Haven't really had a chance to get on and do too much commentary on anything, but that hopefully will change, and I'll be on a little bit more, sharing my opinion and just making everybody aware about different topics and what have. So, seeing that this is more of a New Year greeting, I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer and go into anything too deep, make it too depressing. But there is one topic that I must discuss. I kind of promised the people on my fan page I would, so I think I shall, kind of keeping a promise. About 2 weeks ago, I think we have reached, I believe, the second anniversary of the earthquake in Haiti. And so, of course, with people commemorating, if that is the appropriate word, with people commemorating this date, of course, donations are still being asked for, and they're still stressing that there's a lot of work to be done in Haiti. And that kind of irritated me, because my question is, where is the money that was given to Haiti? Half of Hollywood, probably within themselves, gave about $1 billion to Haiti, just half of Hollywood. And that doesn't, even take into account the random people, the everyday person that was giving money, the other countries that gave money for this devastating event. So my thing is, where's the money? They, at some point, they still kind of ask for more money. Some point, sometimes they just mention, hey, Haiti still needs to rebuild. But at that one point in time, has anyone ever pulled out anything, to my knowledge, to state where this money is going? And it kind of irritates me, because Haiti went from being basically the poorest country in the Western world to, it could have possibly been one of the richest destination islands of the Western world, if not the world altogether. So, I'm just trying to figure out where the money went. Basically, how I equate this, I equate Haiti to being New Orleans. People raised all of this money, especially those in Hollywood, and yet the devastation is still there. Now, I will say with New Orleans, it looks a lot better than Haiti, mainly because Hollywood went in and was like, we can't tolerate this and we're going to start rebuilding. Not because the government went in to do anything. Now, going back to Haiti before we go back to New Orleans, a few weeks after the earthquake, they had a cholera outbreak, and I do believe it was cholera. I do know for certain it was a disease that usually comes from poor sanitation and hygiene. Of course, with the devastation, these people were not able to be as sanitary as possible. So they come down with this cholera outbreak, and yet people are on the news again saying, hey, can you donate money for this cholera outbreak? So thinking to myself, I was pretty much, like, really? You guys received so much money from the earthquake fund that but you couldn't take a couple $100,000 to vaccinate these people or to bring in clean water for these people. You actually want people to donate more money? Okay, so that was kind of crazy to me. But then, if you look at it on the flip side, we're going to play devil's advocate. Maybe they were actually trying to have a separate fund, because then you have the earthquake fund and you have the cholera fund, and then you can kind of account for where all the money is going instead of it, pinching and pulling and putting it here and placing it there. But even though they didn't use any of the earthquake money to help these people, the island still is in shambles. And this island really could blossom and become a destination island. I mean, everyone there could pretty much have decent homes. I mean, even if you want to get extra extravagant, I mean, they can almost have mansions because the island itself is so poor, and the abundance of money that poured in. I mean, these people could at least have 2 to 3 story homes, and that's pretty much everyone. The stores would be booming. The hospitals or the clinics would be very state of the art. The schools will provide some of the best education because they too could be state of the art. And yet nothing. And then even after they rebuild everything and made 5-star hotels, or even just basic, decent hotels, other than, in the resort areas, they still had plenty of money, or would have plenty of money that they could put in emergency funds, that they can put for education funds, medical funds, that they could just have and pull when these particular areas need more money. But yet Haiti still looks like who did it and why, and there's no real explanation. No one has been held accountable. Nobody has really been questioned to say where this money has gone. Being who I am, I would like to know, just for the simple fact of people gave their hard-earned money, and you don't even know what has happened. I mean, celebrities have been to the island trying to promote tourism. They have gone to the island to check out, the development process. And really there's no change, or no significant change. No one has come back and said, oh, wow, Haiti looks absolutely fabulous now. So it's pretty much like, where has this money gone? And pretty much it's just like, are you serious? You guys raised all this money and the funds are just sitting there, possibly collecting interest, possibly not. I don't know. So I would really like to know where this money is. And with the total devastation, even if they're saying, well, we're trying to budget and plan, with the total devastation that occurred, it should not take 2 years to budget and plan. These people need homes now. These people need clean water. They need schools. They need hospitals. And here's a chance that they could have gone from being the poorest country in the Western world to a destination island. And here's a chance that these people could have come up and started having a more better life. And yet the money still sits there. People still don't have homes. Schools are still broken down, falling down on the ground. Hospitals are still nil, next to none. So, that's just my take on it. If you happen to know where this money has gone, or you can send me a link, a newspaper article, something, just to kind of give me an idea, that would be lovely. Now, I equate Haiti to being New Orleans. That's why it's called Part Deux. Because New Orleans is one of the poorest cities, communities in the United States. And pretty much the same thing happened to them. I actually went to New Orleans, so what I'm about to tell you is not hearsay. I saw it firsthand. I went to New Orleans 2 years after Katrina. Now, I will say, with the total devastation of a Category 5 hurricane, I know, especially, you have to kind of rebuild. So I knew from the beginning that everything would not be in its proper place. All of the repairing would not be complete. I mean, it's just, you have a lot that you have to do, especially with a Category 5 that was somewhat unexpected. Yes, but when I got to New Orleans, it was more than just infrastructures knocked down. I mean, we saw apartment complexes that still had trash and debris. And when I say trash and debris, I do not mean like a cup. I mean the trash and debris that washed up. The apartment complexes pretty much looked like a landfill. You still could see a lot of the buildings that had the X's or the help on it. A lot of building marquees that had the names of the buildings were still knocked over. Trash everywhere, buildings knocked down. I mean, the government, the people hadn't even sent in anybody to like bulldoze these homes down or to bulldoze this trash away. It was pretty much like it looked the same exact way, I'm sure, that it did when Katrina first happened. And 2 years of this occurring, after this occurred, you would think that there would be, some type of cleanliness going on. And then they have the nerve to invite people. They invite you back to Mardi Gras, and you welcome people into this city that's destroyed. And it's like, who do you blame? Do you blame the government? Do you blame the people for not, standing their ground, like saying, hey, you guys need to get in and do this? Really, what it boils down to, it was the same type of thing. Where did the money go? Actually, when I went to New Orleans, they were in the process of rebuilding, but at this time, it was a lot of celebrities that were going in and rebuilding. Like the Brad Pitts were going in and taking neighborhood by neighborhood. Oprah was taking neighborhood by neighborhood. Wayne was going in, taking neighborhood by neighborhood. But all of the money that the people donated could not be seen. I haven't been to New Orleans since then, so I haven't been in about 3 or 4 years, I guess. So I really don't know if it's much better. And I'm assuming the trash and things like that, are gone. And like I said, when I was there, people were starting to rebuild. But even the basic things like removing trash out of the apartment complex did not seem to be on the agenda as being important. Yet you're welcoming people into your city. And of course, like I said, we expect to see the infrastructure devastation because, that does take a lot of time to clean up. But you still had trash. Like, how hard is it to clean up trash? People had to relocate and they couldn't come back home. So it's just like, no one ever really questions where in the world is the money. And I am, because it's just like, really, people ask you to donate and no one can show you where the money has gone. No one has, no one has said, well, here's a breakdown of what we've done, or this is why it's taking so long to clean up, or this is whatever. And it's really upsetting because it's just like, really, the government or whomever, you don't value these people enough to try to work quickly and clean up this area so these people have a decent place to live. You can get your tourism levels back up, because not saying you want to take advantage of this, but this is an advantage making moment, because once you clean up, everybody wants to come to see how well you have put it back together. And so it's just kind of like, okay, you haven't done that. So I don't know. I just want to know where the money is. And like I said, I haven't been to New Orleans in about 3 or 4 years, and I'm sure it looks totally much better than it did when I went. But for the fact that they were inviting people in this city and they couldn't even pick up the trash, that says a lot. That says a lot about the government. That says a lot about a lot of different things. Because for one, the government should have made it as cleanly as possible. And for two, it's just kind of like, well, where's the money at? It shouldn't look like this. Same thing with Haiti. They received tons and tons of money, or these funds, I should say, because I don't even know if the money even reached Haiti yet. But these different funds have received tons and tons of money. And yet, no one seems to know where the money is. Yet, when they have other devastations going on in the country, you got like $1 billion. You can't pull a couple $100,000 to fight cholera. And like I said, I understand maybe they want to keep this separate from that. But at the same time, the people were struggling with cholera forever. Their homes haven't really been rebuilt. And so I just want to know, where did the money go? But like I said, not going to make this a sad and depressing, first podcast. But I did want to get that out there because I said I would. And like I said, if you guys have any links or any news articles or any news reports where you can show me where this money went, please share with me, because I like to be enlightened. I like to know, because as of right now, I have no clue. And I'm sure some of you don't either and would like to know as well. So on the flip side, again, I thank you for joining me. You can also reach me on Facebook if you like and join in on discussions at ask_princess. And that's on Facebook. And also I have a new Twitter. The podcast has a new Twitter account. Yay! And you can reach me there also at Ask Princess. So Ask Princess on both Facebook and Twitter. Again, thanks for joining me. And if there's any questions, comments, or anything you'd like to hear me give my opinion or discuss or research or whatever, please send it to me and I shall. Again, thank you. Talk to you soon.